In life, it's about you figuring out what is important. You will never get to where you want to be surrounding yourself with people with different journeys, different expectations. So you have to surround yourself with the people you wish to be, and in time, you become it. And it's so powerful.
Welcome back to Inspire Change with Jordan Mulligan. Today's video is an episode that I've been meaning to release for the last few years, but there's a few technical issues with the video that hopefully are fixed to a standard where you can watch this video. So many of you connected with Special Forces soldier turned modern day samurai, Ronin tactics, or as I know him, Tulam. It includes many different things like samurai philosophy, Shaolin philosophy, like I say, the art of war. It's just a fantastic interview to listen to, so I'm so glad that the team members have been working on this so we can bring this to you today. Today's episode was powered by Huel, a quick, affordable, nutritionally complete source of food with everything that your body needs. Use code 10Mulligan with the link in the description for $10 off or £10 off your first order. I'll talk a bit about these later on in the video. Let's dive into the episode with Ronin tactics, the modern day samurai, and one of my favorite philosophers. Let's dive into it.
My name's Tulam. I'm the CEO and founder of Ronin Tactics, where my wife and I run an entrepreneurship where we travel around America. We train local law enforcement, military, and law-abiding citizens. Along with that, we have a merchandise line of military gear, and we also involved with Hollywood.
I think let's go on the location where we're at, how that's making you feel today, some of the things we've spoken about the landscapes and why you're up here as well.
You know, we're here in Colorado. And not a lot of people, anytime somebody comes to Colorado, they think about Garden of Gods. And that's where we're here today. Garden of Gods, you know, this land created by God, nature. You know, as we were walking up here, I reminded Luke that these beautiful trees, you see? How twisted, warp, and bend these trees is very bonsai-like, you know, these trees. And that's why it's one of my favorite places to go, because the reason why these trees are the way it is, because they had to endure. You know, they had to endure the harsh winds, the weather, they had to endure the rain. The weather and the water is what created this beautiful, beautiful landscape. You know, and I often come here once a week to try to ground myself, you know, what is beautiful, and this is beautiful. Just to take it in, you know, like just to sit here and inhale nature and to get away from life, you know, the busy life in today's world of, you know, social media and the externals, you know. So sometimes you just have to go to a place like this and ground yourself. So, you know, welcome, Garden of Gods.
We've spoken about how your wife is so involved in your business. Using her as an example, how important is it for people to find those kind of relationships?
You know, marriage is about, you know, balancing each other out. You know, my strength is her weaknesses, and her strengths is my weaknesses. You know, I was the strength for a very long time. When she was young and she was going to college and, you know, establishing her career, I was the strength, right? But when I fail, and when I say I fail, is that when I needed her, you know, she was there for me. And the thing is that that's what marriage is about. But not only that she helped me heal, is that in business, you know, she's powerful. I mean, anybody who dealt with my wife in business knows that she's a powerful energy within the industry. She's able to manage the business side of Ronin. Together, we make business decisions for the growth of our company, manufacturing, distribution, marketing. We handle all that internally together as a team. And what I learned from her is her leadership. She has great leadership. She's able to go out on the floor. She's able to set the example. Compassion is another thing that, you know, drives her. You know, so I learned a lot from my wife in the sense of business. I was in the military, so I handle things different. We are very direct, type A personality. My wife, you know, she's been in the corporate world. She understands different personalities and how to handle it in a very diplomatic way, you know? So I learned business from her. I learned patience from her, you know? So working with my wife is a joy because we learn from each other daily. And she also puts me in my place. You know, a lot of people are fans of Ronan, and she reminds me of our journey, right, and how long we came. So it humbles me to have her around me, and I'm very blessed.
I'd love to know how, for yourself, in your situation, how you help guide your son in life.
Well, you know, my son, you know, he came in, and it was a very hard time because, you know, I was still in Special Forces training, you know. And anybody who tell you Special Forces training, you know, you're gone. So he had to make his sacrifices, and we had to make our sacrifices, and what the world and the country needed me in times of war. What an amazing human being, you know, how he was able to grow up and become this amazing character. But what I teach him today is that to refine his skills. You know, he has a set of skills, how to refine it and how to apply these skills to life. Another thing that I try to show him is a different way of looking at things. You know, is your narrative. Things doesn't have to be the way that you perceive it is, because it's not true. Believe in your own truth, you know, and he's developing these characteristics, he's developing these movements, he's developing his mindset, he's into the martial arts, he's into business, he's very driven, he's an artist. You know, I see a lot of myself in him in his youth, you know. When I was 26, I was very fearless, and I love the way he lives. He's very fearless in the things he do, you know. So I'm very proud of him. But when you ask me how I guide him, you know, I'm very proud that he gets up in the morning with me and he sits next to me in mindfulness, you know, and sometimes he shares with me what he goes through, as in, does he understand how to embrace what is now? You know, sometimes he struggles with certain things, and, you know, I push him along. But life is about self-development, you know, and that's what I tell my son, is that, you know, your parents, no matter how much they love you, right? They don't have all the answers. And in life, it's about you figuring out what is important. And all a parent do is, as a parent, all I can do is support him and love him and try to guide him in what I perceive is good, you know. And he's going in that route, and I'm very happy.
Now, can we just talk about your journey with gratitude? Could you share that story with us again?
You know, after my military, I went into, you know, a state of depression, and I was trying to work on myself, you know, and I couldn't figure out what was really wrong. And, you know, I started doing mindfulness meditation and all that. And I got to a certain point of my healing process where then I went to a Tony Robbins seminar where he talked about gratitude, the power of gratitude, you know. At a certain point, you know, I was grateful, but I never really exercised that gratitude. There's the exercise, there's a practice to it. And, you know, Tony Robbins, when you get up in the morning, he changes the physiology, and he makes you write down, you know, the 3 things you're grateful for, you know. And for me, it's my wife and my family and their health, and, you know, my beautiful life and this day that I was given. So I write these 3 things up, physically write it down every single morning. It was a practice. And I realized during that practice that, you know, I stopped being kind to people, as in, you know, being in the Special Forces, you know, look, on the teams, kindness is weakness. A team guy would tell you that. But what happened if I tell you that I'm not in war anymore, and I don't want to live like that? So I have to embrace what's beautiful. So I had to change, you know, I had to change my mindset. You know, I had to change my mindset. So when I got out of the military, I realized that I really needed to change who I was. You know, and that was the first step. Was, you know, when I got out, I was really depressed. And through depression was what made me realize that I needed to change, right? And that came a choice. And then after that choice was made, through my intelligence as a soldier, a Green Beret, I started understanding the mind and body, and I was able to formulate a plan which encompassed gratitude. So Tony Robbins taught me gratitude, and through gratitude, I found God. And when I embraced God, and I tell you, that changed my life, because now you're living for a higher power, right? So that's what changed me, and that's why gratitude is so important, and that needs to be practiced in the mornings.
I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. Today's video was sponsored by Huel, a quick, affordable, nutritionally complete source of food with everything that your body needs. When I flew out to Colorado to make this documentary, this film, this interview, I had Huel in my backpack. There's so many reasons why I use these guys, but for me, it's efficient. I know that I can travel around the world, reach into my backpack and have everything that my body needs, including all the calories, all the nutrients, absolutely everything, including the protein, at a grab of a bottle. It's an absolute game changer. So if you want to get $10 or £10 off your first order, use code 10Mulligan with the link down below. Thank you to Huel for sponsoring the video and making this possible. Let's dive back into the episode.
Do you remember when you came back from the military, what that transition was like?
Well, the transition out of the military, civilian life, 23 years in the military, you know, and finishing in 5 days, I tell you, I was lost, you know. 23 years, free no press, running at a high intensity, you know, you go into a dead stop. You know, you could lose your purpose. You could lose your purpose. And for me, it was very hard. But what I had going for me is I had a beautiful wife that helped me, right? And she helped me, and she became my light. And then me wanting to be a better person by working on myself, you know, I slowly took the morning. If I can win the morning, I can win the day. And if I win this day, and then slowly I started winning more days. So that's the process on how I healed myself. You know, is you have to look at what is beautiful, and then you have to move towards that direction.
What's the importance of the circle of people you keep around you?
You know, being in the military, I didn't really have a choice of who I'm around with. You know, I never had a choice of, you know, you're put in a team and you have to work with these guys, and there's, you know, different backgrounds. Some are really, you know, come from prestige background, some come from broken homes. We're put into war, right? Or we're subjected to a life of being a warrior, which is, you know, being a warrior, we embody what is hate. Like, we train in it. You know, there's courses where we're driving a rifle bayonet through, you know, a mannequin dummy, running through an obstacle course, you know, a bayonet course. But the thing is, we train to be this element, this fire element. And a lot of us, during the war, we couldn't control our emotions. So we bash each other. We hate the world. We look at others like we're better than them, you know? And the thing is, then you embody that. You run in these circles. It's so toxic. And you really don't understand how toxic it is until you step away from toxic people. And when you step away from toxic people, then you realize your own voice and who you want to be. And once you know who you want to be, then you surround yourself with these people that are like-minded. You will never get to where you want to be surrounding yourself with people with different journeys, different endings, different expectations. It doesn't matter what their expectation is. It's not your journey. Focus on what's important, which is your journey, which is becoming the best person you can be. Surround yourself with these like-minded people, because only through that can you walk together. Only through that can you have, you know, happiness for one another, right? If a person is driven off on greed, if he's driven off on greed and he focuses on that and greed and wanting more money, then he's not on the same journey you're on. And he can never be happy for you, because it's what is greed. So you have to surround yourself with the people you wish to be, and in time, you become it. And it's so powerful. Keep your circle small.
What is the importance of having gratitude for the things and the settings that are around you?
The power of a word. The power of a word is such a strong thing. the power of a word. When you get up in the morning, you see this beautiful day. Let's say you get up in the morning, you see this beautiful day, and you had an argument with your wife last night, and you said, "What a fucking shitty morning." Did you not shape that day with a powerful word? What happened if you get up and you had a shitty argument with your wife, and you get up and you're like, "Wow, what a beautiful morning." Will you not live that day beautifully? Will you not go and try to apologize? Will you not try to make this day what is a beautiful day, which is the power of a word? Right? So it's the way we look at life. It's the way we look at things. It's to live in beauty is just that. It's to embrace what is beautiful. To not be around negative people. Right? Negative people are so poisonous with their words. They're so selfish in the way that they just throw out words insulting others. They think that makes them feel good, but in the end, they're embracing what is ugly. And they're embodying what is ugly, and that's hate, right? So they're going to look at the world with hateful eyes. Insulting others, insulting everybody else because they believe that they are perfect. And in the end, none of us are perfect, and that we should help one another. So live in what is beautiful. So when I say that is, you can only do that by practice. You practice. So this morning, if you practice gratitude and you're grateful for the day, and you're grateful for the morning, you're grateful for the friendship, you're grateful for the food, and you're just saying thank you for everything, will you not be grateful for your life and fulfilled? In today's world, we expect it. It's an expectation that others need to serve you. We have expectations that, my coffee, my food should be delivered this way, or otherwise I'm going to be pissed off. That's the expectation you place on yourself, ruining your day with a word. So my word is this: thank you. Express what is beautiful, gratitude.
For people who don't do this, who don't get out and have that mindfulness without an awareness, how do they take this step?
People ask me, like, why would I do this? Like, why would I go and practice awareness? Everything works for me. I'm fine. But you drink, and then you curse, and you act out, you hate on others. Your life isn't going the direction you wanted to go, but yet here you are. Because you don't need it until you need it. You don't need meditation until you need it. But what happens if I tell you? What if I say, if I teach you meditation and you implement that into your life, that you could be a better person, that you could be more successful, would you not take that skill and put it into your life? See, a lot of people, they don't see it because they live in this artificial world, social media, television, artificial world of listening what somebody they don't even know you have to say about you across the world. They care about that because they live in this false reality. We separate ourselves from what is actual truth, and what is actual truth is this. This is actual truth, but yet we rather live in our false narrative of what somebody else believe. Never even met you, and they have to say this about you, and you that's your reality? If you ground yourself in what is true, which is this, then it doesn't matter what everybody else have to say, right? Because you're grounding yourself out in what's actual truth, and that is beauty. And that's why it's so important to connect with nature, because we came from Mother Nature. And one day we will go back to Mother Nature. That's the circle of life. We are but a cell on this earth. We are a living organism to Mother Nature. Right? So we have to embrace what is beautiful and live in this. That's why it's important.
Thank you so much to Tulan for doing this, or as you guys might know him, Ronin Tactics. head to the link in the description and you can find out more about Tulam, some of the projects he's got going on. You might know him from Call of Duty, but his social media is a great place to find out more. Thank you, Tulam. Thank you to his lovely family who welcomed us into their home for the week to be able to shoot this documentary. Thank you to today's sponsor as well, Huel. It's a quick, affordable, nutritionally complete source of food with everything that your body needs. Use code 10Mulligan with a link down below. And thank you to everybody who supported us at mulliganbrothers.com. The end of year sale or the beginning of the year sale is still on. Use code 2024 for buy one, get one free across the whole website. Guys, that is what makes all of this possible and your support. So thank you so much to everybody who supported us. We promise you we're not going to let you down this year. We have so many new projects ready to film. And I have a wonderful adventure that's been spurred on by people like Ronan, where I'm going to be trying to raise money with a huge task where I'm going to carry something for miles and miles and miles. I can't tell you the details yet. It's why it sounds a little bit, I'm leaving a lot of the details out, but I'm training for it right now and training is going really well. So please come follow me on Instagram. Stay tuned on here, follow all that kind of stuff, and I'll be doing a lot more interactive stuff with the community based on this event. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Are you willing to die for this? And if you're not, then, look, don't even get started. If you don't have the discipline, don't even get started. You're just you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, right? But if you want to be an entrepreneur, first thing is that, first you need to come up with a good business plan, and that's built off of intelligence. And you can do that for free.